Cool. So welcome to the weekly training, Charting Your Business Growth Path. We're going to be talking today about creating your unique selling proposition or your unique serving proposition. Lots of different ways you could use those words. And why is it important? So the purpose of the Charting Your Business Growth Path, or the weekly workshop, is to keep talking about the strategies for creating your successful path in business growth, how to achieve scalable growth, and how to look at the business growth plan. Always my biggest challenge to get it all moving right. So if you're here watching live, remember to just say hey in the comments, #live. If you're watching the replay, just say, replay in the comments and post any questions that you have. So the weekly workshop we had, we talked about the pillars of success, and I've moved everything into a Compassers Consulting. So we're same kind of philosophy of leadership, marketing, operationalizing, and innovating products and services. And at the heart of that is you, the business owner, your mindset, your health, your creating balance, and all of those great things. So during these weekly workshops, we will be continuing to move around that compass and talk about the different things that comprise a business growth plan that's holistic and well-rounded. So today we're talking about unique selling propositions, and I will post a PDF of the presentation afterwards. All right. So important to build your strategic framework. And the first part of that strategic framework is defining your niche or your target market. Who are the people that you're selling to, and getting that as defined as you possibly can. And then looking at your competitors and what they're doing and how you stand out from that crowd. Like, what makes you unique? What makes you different? So when we're looking at the unique selling proposition, unique, I think, is the key word. And then selling, I like the idea of serving more than selling, because I believe for me, for my business, I do my selling through providing value and education and connection with the people that eventually want to do business with me and feel like I'm a good fit for them. So I don't do a lot of that pushy sales process that we're all leery of, right? So part of that is identifying the problem that you're solving, and that you're a good solution for that problem. And how are you a good solution? And then clearly communicating that. And in my post today on Facebook, I talked about that clear communication, because I think that can be one of the problems that sometimes happens, is we feel like we're communicating, and then there's a disconnect between what we think we've communicated and what people are hearing. So we need to keep saying, what our value is over and over and over in different ways, so that people can hear it differently and go, oh, I didn't know you did that. And they can hear it when they need it. So if we're not saying it consistently, then we might not be saying it at the right time for that person. So the unique selling proposition, or your USP, we need to be seeing that at all the different levels of your business. So at the brand level, and we talked about this a little bit in Vision 2025, that vision is part of your brand, right? And the mission, vision, purpose of your company is part of your brand. And that's part of what we need to communicate. And then that brand voice that you're developing is part of your uniqueness as well. So how you're communicating that out to the world. And then, like I just said earlier, consistent communication, being relevant over and over and over again so that people are finding value from you consistently. And then building that loyal following through consistent education, storytelling, and content. So where do you need a USP? Well, you need it at the product level. You're going to need it on the features, and you're going to need it to show customer value. So we're always putting that through all the different pieces of our communication. That was a fancy transition. So creating a sustainable competitive advantage. So you want to have hard to copy advantages. So you want to focus on things that are difficult for competitors to replicate. Specialized expertise or proprietary processes. Boy, I threw some big words in here today. So here at Compassers Consulting, some of the things that I would say make our inner circle unique is that we have a focus on vision and strategy, but we keep that focus throughout the program. So while other competitors or other coaches have perhaps a weekly coaching, we're coming back once a month and saying, okay, let's look at your plan. What'd you do? What didn't you do? Why didn't you do it? What do we need to do so that you do it? And that goes back to like my expertise in doing life planning with people for decades now and continuing to work the plan and look at the plan and make sure that we're identifying what the roadblocks are, limiting beliefs are, and moving those out of the way. In addition, we have the other types of calls where it's just open coaching calls where you can come just ask questions or do more of a hot seat kind of coaching each month. And we also do marketing training. So we're always updating people on what's relevant in the market right now. So I think makes it a little bit different than most coaching programs. And then you want to use your own assets, your contacts, relationships for creating that distinction in business as well. So I just talked to you about some of the unique ways that you might position your advantages, but look at like what you can position a little bit differently than your competitors are positioning it. So it might be a unique delivery or unique content. What is that uniqueness? And then communicating that with people. One of the things that we've talked about in the weekly workshops is going into production mode and continuously developing new assets, new product, new service, innovating how we're packaging those, how we're presenting those, what they look like, feel like, all of those pieces, adding new features, adding new bonuses. So that constant innovation and consistent development mode can help you in how you're presenting the offers to people, but also how those offers are then perceived. So one of the things I know that I need to work on is like updating my email signature, right? So it's got, excuse me, launching your dream in there, and we could change it up more often than we do. So, you know, how can you change things up and be keeping it fresh, providing value in your newsletter, not over emailing people? Excuse me, 1 second. Sorry about that. So one of the things that I'm seeing is, should you be using email? I still believe, yes, you should be using email. I do think that we need to decrease the number of times that we're emailing people. So in the past, email marketers, you could see 3 emails a day from somebody. That is not working anymore. So you want to have email that's valuable so people are opening it, and you don't want to overdo it. You want to keep it focused, value oriented, and not overwhelming people in their inbox. And then personalize the communication. So even in your email marketing program, you can use some personalization within there and make it feel personal to the person. And then when people email you back, definitely reply. Oh, we're not moving anymore. So if you're doing training with people like here, you want that unique selling proposition to be coming through in your training and in the content. And with all the ideas that you're presenting, offering, like we're creating that brand voice. And so we should be hearing that brand voice through everything that we're doing. Doing a weekly workshop is a great strategy as well. So I've been doing them primarily posting on YouTube. So changing it up where we're going live in the Facebook group and posting on YouTube. You want to let people know about the weekly workshop, share valuable information, not too long. Like this one's already going, we're at like 13 minutes right now. So a little bit longer than I like to go. But so it's brief, short, and you've got information and value within that brief time. And it's a way of extending your audience. So then you can share that content through social media, through your email marketing, and you could advertise and promote it through advertisement as well. And so we usually share it, like this will go out in our email, this will go out on social media channels, and then some episodes will get converted into a podcast. So we use it as many ways as we can to offer value across different channels where we're connecting with different people in different places. I'm also going to be inviting people to be guests on here on the lives and on my podcast. So that's another way of expanding your reach, but also expanding what you're offering to people and how you're offering it. So if you have questions, be sure to post them down below. And I would love to answer any questions that you have. Use the guide. I'm going to upload the guide as a foundation for developing your USP. And sorry, we jumped a little bit too fast. Start with the key areas where you can create that unique advantage and post those here in the group or in the comments. Like, what's your unique advantage and why should people engage with you? Like, what makes you a little bit different? If you want to dive deeper, the Compass Rose Consulting Resource Center membership is all revised and just opening up, and we're offering a $10 for 10 days trial membership. And inside the Business Growth Project is there. And then we have many other courses that you can access through the Resource Center. So in the midst of change and revitalization, and it's even after the 10 days, an incredible price. So thanks so much for being here. Be sure to leave comments, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.